Hey, good evening. This is meteorologist Jacob Matthews with a look at some weather updates. And this is mainly going to be about air quality alerts across the area. And as you can see right here, we are dealing with some pretty moderate air quality. And that's happening just inland and over in the mountains region. And let me just take a look at the tools here. If we go a bit further east, we may see even more hazardous conditions. That's still moderate, but it's pretty much all the shades of yellow. That's moderate air quality. But if we go over to the orange right here, that's happening over in Hamburg as well as Buffalo, seeing pretty sensitive air quality, and that's going to be for any that's going to be troublesome for any sensitive groups out there. So yeah, if you live near Buffalo and you're sensitive to some pretty poor air quality, just be on the lookout for that and try not to stay outside for too long. And the cause for all of this is basically all of the wildfires that are still happening over in Quebec, Canada. And if we just zoom out, you can see some reds are happening in that region. Some reds as well as a few pinks. And if we try to get to that area, let me try to get there. Let me just use the tools here. Here we go. Yeah, if we get to this area right here where you see all the red, take a look at what that means. That's unhealthy. Yeah, okay, that's unhealthy as well. But we're also seeing some pretty poor air quality over in the state of Michigan. It's a bit purple right there. See what that means. What? That's also okay. Maybe that's not for air quality. That's probably another alert. My bad. I thought that was for air quality at first, but this is for air quality. Yeah, it's moderate. Okay, so over in Michigan, it's moderate, but the other alert right there is for something else. Let me just take a quick search for what that means. On computer is a little slow right now. Could be a red flag warning. Yeah, that's a red flag warning. Okay. That's why I thought it's nothing air quality related. So but that's good. At least the air quality is not too bad over in Michigan. But much of that smoke is making its way down into the northern U.S. and it's already affecting parts of Pennsylvania, mainly the western half, as you can see here, extending all the way down to Pittsburgh. And it's even going into other states, including West Virginia, southern Ohio. It's looking a little unhealthy over in Kentucky as well as parts of Indiana. Illinois also has some pretty unhealthy spots, and that's also the case for Wisconsin. But overall, nothing as bad as what's happening over in Canada. That's where all the fires are actually happening, and I can imagine it looks pretty red out there. And I don't know if you were outside earlier, but the sunset it looked pretty red out there. Had a bit of an orange glow. All right, and that just said Michigan has a 3,000 acre fire going. Oh wow! Thanks for that update. I honestly had no idea that was happening. If I do pull something up here, okay, there's a graphic that I do have. If I put it over here, did that work? Am I doing this right? Hold on. Hmm. Okay, well, the graphic I do have up actually shows air quality, and you take a look at what Michigan looks like right now. Um, it should also show what fires are happening. Okay, so yeah, there is a pretty intense fire happening nearly in north central Michigan. It looks like, let's see, Grayling. Okay, so it's next to Grayling. So yeah, that confirms that there is there's a pretty strong wildfire happening over in Michigan, but thankfully the air quality isn't as bad as what's happening in Canada, and I don't expect it to be as bad down here compared to how it is up in Canada. Hopefully, it will just stay moderate to unhealthy. But yeah, at the same time, we are dealing with some low pressure system that's now happening over in it's now developing near the New England states. And by the time that low pressure system starts to make its way closer to our area, it will kind of push aside much of the smoke. So it may push that smoke aside, maybe just to our south. We'll still be dealing with a bit of haze, but overall, I don't really think we're going to see anything too bad. I mean, the models are predicting mainly some moderate air quality for the next few days, while much of the more concern, the higher concerns are happening over in cities like Binghamton and maybe even eastern Pennsylvania. All right, Chad, Kathy, and Youngsville just popped in. Did have an orange glow going on around 7 p.m. And yeah, that orange glow actually, even though it was pretty, it is kind of dangerous. I mean, if you're pretty sensitive to some wildfire smoke as well as haze going on in the outdoors, yeah, you shouldn't be exposed outdoors for too long. But looking at this graphic right now, it seems like we're pretty good in much of Erie County. But if you live inland, like in cities like Greenville as well as Meadville, a bit moderate down there. But if you live in Buffalo, now that's even more sensitive. So if you're sensitive to any wildfire smoke, yeah, I would not advise being outside for too long. Overall, it might just stay moderate over in our area. And, uh, and like I mentioned before, that orange sunset, yeah, it was pretty, and it even turned red later. It's kind of weird that you can actually see the sun without going blind. But even though it is pretty, that does mean air quality is pretty bad. So again, if you're sensitive to that, just be sure to stay indoors. Don't stay outside for too long. All right. Yeah, that's pretty much it for fire. As of now, it looks like much of the fire is only happening over in Canada. We are seeing a few flames happening in other states like Michigan, but overall, it's not as bad as what's happening over in Canada. And it may just stay moderate in near our area, and seems like the higher concern will be over in states like New York, mainly central New York and eastern Pennsylvania. Some models are predicting some of the higher concerns to flow from central New York into cities like Philadelphia and even New York City, even into New Jersey as well. But thankfully, it will move outside of our area. We'll probably just be dealing with some moderate air quality for a while. Also, with this haziness, it may also lead to a cool down later this week, and compared to last week, that we've seen temperatures in the 80s, but it looks like for this week we may see upper 60s, and that's the case for possibly Wednesday and Thursday. Any rain coming up? Well, if you live inland as well as over in the mountains region, you may get a few spotty showers, but over on the lake shore, we may stay pretty dry. We're not really going to get a lot of rain, but it seems like the higher chance will be for next Sunday. So hopefully we'll get out of this drought by then. But with these wildfires, it is gonna make these rain forecasts a little difficult. Like we have to determine the timing of this wildfire smoke. That will play a big role in determining how much rain we're going to get, like where the rain is going to be and how it's going to play out. Like I don't expect any heavy rain at all, given how cold the temperatures are going to be. We're going to keep those temperatures at bay, mainly in the 70s for this week. Maybe the upper 60s. Thankfully, there will be a warm up after hopefully all this wildfire smoke is out of the way. And we may reach back up to the 70s and or upper 70s, maybe even low 80s, and that may help generate enough energy for there to be some more rain, and that will likely be for next week. It's where you can smell a hint of smoke. Oh yeah, there's if you step outside, you can definitely smell some smoke. It's like you can smell a campfire, even though nothing is happening. No campfire is happening within miles, I'm sure, and that's mainly from all of the wildfire smoke that's happening in Canada. And if you're just joining us right now, we're dealing with some moderate air quality. It's a bit more sensitive over near Buffalo. If you're sensitive to wildfire smoke and all this haziness, I would not recommend staying outside for too long, and it's a lot more unhealthy in Ontario as well as Quebec, Canada, those two provinces. And thankfully, it's not as unhealthy over here. But again, if you're sensitive to this kind of air quality, again, don't stay outside for too long. I would definitely not recommend it. Yeah. I actually did get a picture of an orange glow, and I'm planning on showing that for the Fox show at 10, and and even the 11 o'clock show later tonight. So looking forward to that, and yeah, stay tuned uh, for both of those shows if you want to see the orange glow. John Young is staying inside. Yep, that's a good idea. I definitely recommend. I definitely recommend staying inside if you are sensitive to some wildfire smoke. But according to this graphic, it's looking pretty good for Erie County, though. If you live inland, it's a little more moderate, and I can expect the air quality to change within the next few hours. May kick up to moderate for Erie, and it even looks moderate out there right now. We had an orange glow as well as a red glow for the sun. You can see it without going blind, and while it does look pretty, that is a bad sign because of how much smoke we have. And but thankfully, much of the smoke seems to be going over to central New York and eastern Pennsylvania, and it's also going to block out much of the rainfall that's now happening over in the New England states, and that will inhibit our chance to try and get some rainfall this week. May see a few spotty showers, but the chances will likely not be greater until next Sunday. And that'll be by the time all the wildfire smoke will hopefully get out of the way. All right, well, that's just a quick update. I'm gonna get my graphics ready for my next show as well as some other few things done. So thank you all for joining, and well, tune in for the Fox show and the 11 o'clock show. I'll be back for giving another forecast. All right, have a good night, everybody.